So there are two different types of chemistry, organic chemistry and inorganic chemistry. So for elements, I have water, and then water is held together by hydrogen bonds. Adhesion is the bonding of a cell to another cell, and cohesion is sticking like cells together, whereas adhesion are the opposite, cells sticking together. Hydrogen or hydrophobic interactions are interactions between nonpolar molecules. Over on this side, I just listed the different elements, and then these are the units with their different prefixes. Over here we have isomers, which are compounds with the same formula. Cations are positive, anions are negative. The half-life is half the time that it takes for the nucleus to divide, split in half. Over here we have a list of the different types of bonds that hold the atoms together. Atoms have proton, neutrons, and electrons. Hydrogen ion and hydronium ions are two different types of protons, and the nucleus is, or the neutrons are inside of the nucleus. Valence electrons are in the outer electron shell, and then also for electrons we have electron donors and electron acceptors. When these take place together, your oxidation reduction reaction occurs. Down here are a list of ways that you can classify the different atoms. Acids and bases are a way that you can kind of classify them or explain them is by their pH. Whenever an acid and base reaction is neutralized, it produces a salt. Avogadro's number is the mole, which gives you the molarity. Molecular weight, atomic weight, which is expressed in the Dalton, and the atomic number and the electronegativity. Next we have the functional groups. First we have the carbonyl group, which is oxygen and carbon. Aldehydes, alcohols, and ketones all contain a carbonyl group. Next we have the carboxyl group, which is carbon and oxygen. A carboxylic acid is a type of, or has a carbonyl group. Fatty acids contain a carboxylic acid, which fatty acids can be saturated or unsaturated. And then lipids are an example of a fatty acid, and then an example of a lipid would be a phospholipid. Amino acids contain a carboxyl group and an amino group. Amino groups and amine groups both have nitrogen and hydrogen. Hydroxyl groups are your sugars and alcohols. Carbohydrates contain a hydroxyl group, and carbohydrates can be a monosaccharide or a polysaccharide. And then glycerol also contains a hydroxyl group. For phosphate groups, those are going to have phosphorus and oxygen. A phosphate group attached to the sugar of a nucleoside makes the nucleotide. Your sulfohydryl group is sulfur and hydrogen, and the methyl group is your nucleic acids and proteins, and glycoproteins are a type of protein. So those are all the different functional groups.